F41.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Take a lap.
We've got some news. Tom Brady, this could be cap. Now, I want everybody to know right from the jump that these are rumors. We're in smoke season. And my job isn't to ignore news as it comes in if it looks like it could be shaky or potentially fake or have no legs to stand on. But it's my job to either bring them to your attention so you know as soon as possible. Because if I come in and said, I don't know, 5 hours before the Tyreek Hill trade went down, if I would have said, I heard rumors about Tyreek Hill potentially getting traded to the Dolphins, you'd have people in here just filling up the chat going, total cap. No way that happened, Smitty. That's out of this world. There's no way Tyreek Hill's getting traded to the Miami Dolphins. And he did. So it's my job not to ignore these things. It's my job to come on and tell you what I'm hearing. And I've got feelers all over the fantasy football industry. Okay? And I'm hearing this from multiple sources that there's rumblings about it. Now, will it end up working out? Will it end up being something that gets shot down an hour from now? Will it happen? I don't know. It's my job to try and predict based on what I'm hearing, whether it's going to be cap or fact. At this point, I feel like it's not something that you should be counting on, but I wouldn't rule it out. We're in an off season where things are getting crazy. Like Tyreek Hill to Miami, in my opinion, is stranger than Brady to Miami, especially now that Tyreek Hill is there and Brady would want to go there. I'm just saying, it's crazier things have happened. Russell Wilson to Denver in the middle of Aaron Rodgers potentially announcing he's either going to go to Denver or stay in Green Bay, which I might add is a big reason I think Aaron Rodgers did pull back and stay in Green Bay, because the Denver Broncos were taken off the table. We found out later they had already fully pot committed to Russell Wilson in the middle of Aaron Rodgers' final decision. Like, Aaron Rodgers waited too long. If he wanted to go to Denver, and we'll never know, maybe he reveals it at some point in an interview, but my gut tells me he was leaning more Denver than any of us will ever know. But because Denver was off the table, we didn't know that because they'd moved forward with Russell Wilson. It made Aaron Rodgers back up. And so I think it's crazy to think about this on its face, right? Brady to Miami. Like, how is this going to go down? Bruce Arians has already come out and said, no way, he's playing for us or he's not playing at all. But we've also heard Pete Carroll come out and say, I'm not trading Russell Wilson. He gets traded less than a couple days later. So it's smoke season. It's posturing. We don't fully know if any of these things can end up like building momentum before they build momentum. We can't possibly know these things. All we can do is report on what we hear when we hear it and then kick it around. And it's not my job to ignore this. And I know I'm going to see one or two commenters after this video post where somebody says, what a dumb clickbait headline, not going to happen. I know all, Smitty, you know nothing, and there's no way you shouldn't put this garbage out here, or lazy reporting. What show do you want? Do you want me to ignore rumors that are brewing and not come out and at least address them and give you my take and my prediction as to what might happen, take the temperature of it? Or do you want somebody that just sits back and waits for news to be official and then come out here and tell you, oh, by the way, everybody heard about it before I did. I didn't want to say anything because why would I come out and talk about stuff that's in the news if it's not completely confirmed? That's not why you're here, okay? If you're here because you want me to only report on what is known, I don't know why you're here, because I'm here to talk about everything. If it's a rumor and I'm going to bring it up just to shoot it down, or if it's a rumor, I might bring it up to say I like it. It's got a lot of legs. This might end up turning into something. And if anybody is going to come in here and say you shouldn't be reporting on things like this when they're rumors or there's no factual evidence, you will be taking a look. So there you have it. Now, let's talk about this for a second. Where did these rumors generate? Some say Tampa. They've been hitting radio stations, local radio stations all around Miami, Tampa. I've got some Pittsburgh reports. I've got reports where this is hitting everywhere, right? And there's a lot of Twitter buzz, a lot of Twitter chatter. And I'm constantly looking at it. And in fact, let me get some of my boys here. Any updates on Brady? I've got so many chats going on, so many text message chat groups, so many Instagram chat groups, so many Telegram and Discord alerts constantly. And I appreciate everybody that lets me know about a trade. Like, you guys can keep doing that. You don't have to feel like, hey, Smitty, did you hear Tyreek Hill got traded? More than likely, I'm going to have known about it before you ever messaged me. But you can keep doing that. Don't feel like you shouldn't do that. But I've got so many different avenues that come to me when something happens. I hear about things like that. And I've got these chat groups where literally information's being fed to every one of us, and we're all hitting each other with the information. And so it becomes a real nice pipeline for finding out what potentially could be going on, what might be brewing, what might be shot down. Like this Brady talk, there's Twitter screenshots of these conversations happening. Some people saying that's cap, that's totally made up. There's photoshopped conversations being passed around. We don't really know what's going on with this Brady to the Dolphins rumor mill stuff, but there could be legs to it because we don't have any concrete evidence yet. Nothing's been shot down. Nothing's been talked about publicly like this isn't happening. These are rumors. We might hear about that while we're live. We might hear about that in the next 2, 3, 4 hours or next 10 minutes. That is not true. It's completely cap. We may hear about that while we're live. Just know that. And I'm waiting for that. I'm trying to find that information. And I'm looking at Schefter. I'm looking at Rappaport. Those are the guys that confirm everything to us when it goes down, right? That's our concrete, as much as anything can be concrete, like the Aaron Rodgers news. Aaron Rodgers signed a 4-year, $200 million deal, then he didn't. They're going to hit things and miss things because even Rappaport and Schefter are going to get fed information and they're trying to get it out as fast as they can. It ends up being wrong, and then people come down on them. I've been critical of Shefty as of late, but in that report, I had his back. I'm like, look, if I saw it, I saw 200 million and I put it out there because he put it out there. And that's the way the news world works, right? You have people that you trust, you put it out there. Schefter, I still trust a ton. I don't like when he does opinion pieces. I don't like when he interjects and gives his opinion because he's not an analyst. He is a reporter. And I know he wants to be an analyst. I know in his midlife crisis stage he's in right now, he wants to dissect things and predict and be a part of the fun. I want to be with the fun guys. I'm a fun guy. This is what Schefter's thinking. Schefter's like, I'm a fun guy too. I can be a fun guy. He's not a fun guy. Schefter is literally a reporter, and he needs to stay in his wheelhouse. When he's in his wheelhouse, he's good to go because he's locked in, he's dialed in, and we trust him. So Shefty, stay in your lane. But there are a bunch of reports. We're waiting for Shefty and Rappaport to double, triple stamp them, all that, for those to be confirmed or be shot down. So Schefter or Rappaport will probably address this as the rumors grow. And if they are rumors and there's no truth to them whatsoever, then I'm sure Shefty and Rappaport at some point or somebody will, and they'll retweet it. Somebody will shoot it down officially. Somebody with high authority in the news space will shoot down this or tell you whether there's something brewing. We don't truly know. There's zero chance of this nonsense, says Jamie. I don't know about that, Jamie. Jamie, did you see Tyreek Hill getting traded to the Dolphins? Did you see Aaron Rodgers returning to just have Devontae Adams get traded? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. 100%, Jamie says 100% bullcrap. Okay. And Jamie, as I said, I'm not sure if you're here in the beginning, that might be the case. I'm here to either tell you if I feel or find any information to back it up, but these rumors are rampant. These rumors are everywhere, and they have to be addressed. They have to be looked at. They have to be talked about. Because, Jamie, if I don't do it, who's going to do it? Who's going to come out here and let you know that these rumors are going rampant all over Twitter and social media? Jamie, it's my obligation to address them. If I got on here and said, okay, today, Jamie, we're going to do just a simple little rookie mock draft. You know what I'm saying, Jamie? You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at you, Jamie. I'm just saying, I could come out here and then somebody in the chat could go, Smitty, what about the Tampa Bay rumors? What about the rumors of Tom Brady getting traded to the Miami Dolphins? You're not going to lead with that story? And then I say, no, Jamie, because according to my calculations, that might not be accurate. I'm going to give you an assessment of what's going on instead of let you know what the rumors are. I have to let you know what the rumors are. And honestly, I can't shoot them down. I have no evidence to suggest that they're true. I have zero evidence to suggest that they're false. All I know is it's rampant. It's spreading like wildfire. Sometimes rumors and lies and fabrication can spread like wildfire. Social media can do that. It can ignite a topic on fire and it can spread like wildfire. And later on we find out it's fictitious and then it goes out real quickly. One swoop, it's gone. I have no evidence whatsoever. I appreciate you, Jamie. I have no evidence whatsoever that this is fabricated. I have no evidence whatsoever that this is cap. And just because Arians want something, Tom Brady staying, doesn't mean it will happen. We don't know what's going on. And if anybody thinks this can't happen just because it sounds big and weird, like, have you not been paying attention to the entire offseason? I know I woke up this morning going, was all that a dream? Is Tyreek Hill really in Miami? Is Devontae Adams really in Las Vegas? Is Russell Wilson, is he seriously in Denver with my boy Javonte, baby? Is this real? It is real. Oh my God, it wasn't a dream. I wake up every day wondering if this was all a dream because it seems too crazy. This is the makings of one of those crazy dreams. You wake up and you're like, how did I not know I was dreaming? That was way too unrealistic. If anybody thinks that Tom Brady getting traded to the Dolphins is any different than any of that, you're out of your minds. You're out of your minds because it very much smells the same in terms of shock. Yeah, but it makes sense. McDaniel's making moves. And when you really, and again, guys, I'm reaching here. I'm not predicting this to happen. I could just see a casual coming in next week going, oh, yeah, Smitty, this prediction you have that you're talking about right now next week is going to work out just as well as your Tom Brady to Miami predictions. I'm not predicting it. I'm trying to decipher it. So for the casual next week, know that. But if we try and look at it, and break it down, think about it for just 1 second. There are some things we can pull from that make sense. Tom Brady wanted to play in San Francisco. He went to the Niners and said, I want to play for you. And guess what Kyle Shanahan did? The guy that's botching the Trey Lance, Jimmy G situation in San Francisco, which I think will ultimately work out. Trey Lance is a quote-unquote behind-the-scenes been assured he's going to be the starter in 2022. We'll see about that. But I do feel like Trey Lance's talent will rise. But Brady wanted to go to the Niners a couple years back. And if you remember the clip on ESPN, he said, and they wanted to keep that effing guy over me. Remember that? That clip that was played all over. And we wonder, what team is Brady talking about? Because Brady didn't really reveal what team it was. It ended up being the Niners. The Niners wanted to keep Jimmy G over bringing in Tom Brady. And they said that he's only, Tom Brady, marginally better than Jimmy G. This is the man, Shanahan, making the quarterback decisions. Absolute madness. Absolute madness. You are, because you can look at, Ian already said Brady was not true at noon. I'll take a look at that, but there's still rumors rampant is what I'm saying, bro. So nothing's been completely shot down yet because the local radio is going crazy in Tampa Bay right now. So it's not true that something was announced. Nothing's intimate. Nothing's being heard, but it doesn't mean it's not brewing, bro. So relax. Tom Brady may have a little bit of that, what do you call it? Revenge or edge or chip on his shoulder type of personality. And if McDaniel was wanting him to come into San Francisco, let's say, okay, and McDaniel wants Tom Brady on the roster, Shanahan doesn't. Shanahan wants Jimmy G. There might be a connection there to say, look, I wanted you. I want you now. Let's make it happen. And I don't know how it's going to work if it was to go down. And again, this is all speculation and rumor and buzz spreading around Tampa Bay radio, spreading around Twitter like crazy, like wildfire. It hasn't been put out yet. So we will see. I believe McDaniel absolutely does want to go after Tom Brady. I just don't know if there's a play here. I don't know if the Bucs are even interested or how much say Bruce Arians has, who has shot down the idea of trading Tom Brady at all. And when you think about it, why would the Bucs want to get rid of Brady? But if you use that logic, why did the Seahawks want to get rid of Russell Wilson without a backup plan? They still had a good enough team to compete. And if you take a look at Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, the Green Bay Packers went to the NFC Championship game. They almost went to the end. The Packers had a team that was capable of going to the Super Bowl. Okay? They had a team capable of going to the Super Bowl, and the Green Bay Packers dismantled and blew up their team. So you have to ask yourself, if a team is willing to send Devontae Adams to Las Vegas and dismantle and blow up a team that just went to the NFC Championship game, a team that could have went to the Super Bowl, a team that could have won it all, what else is there? Not NFC Championship game. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. I'm running my mouth here, and I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I'm so tired. Why would you blow up that team? So the same thinking could be used with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, why blow it up? Why blow it up? Because we don't know why. Contractually, rebuild. What do they want to do for the future? Can't afford this player. Can't afford that player. Want to dial down the spending. Whatever the case may be. Tom Brady could be traded. Who knows? Green Bay is no Tampa Bay. We know that will win it all with Brady. Look, if you put Brady in Miami and you gave him Tyreek Hill, you gave him Jalen Waddle, and you gave him Mostert, that would be literally it already is. Without Mostert, it's still the fastest wide receiver crew. But that's literally the fastest group of three guys, I think, that's ever been assembled on a team before. Brady throwing to Hill, Waddle, and Mostert is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Jimmy G to Tampa Bay. Aaron, I'd be okay with that. Barkley to San Francisco. Niners by nature. I don't know if I see that happening, but I mean, again, if it's like a second or third or a fourth round, like that's the way players are getting traded. Allen Robinson was traded for a very, very low draft selection. I mean, it's possible Brady, because of his contract, could get traded over to San Francisco on a third rounder type deal exchange because of the contract and everything. But I don't know that the Niners can. I mean, they can move money around. They can afford to do it. Tampa Bay, old fart, says Hefe KC. Tampa Bay just might, like, maybe they do want to rebuild. Maybe they feel like they can't win. I don't know why they would feel that way, but I don't know why the Green Bay Packers would feel that way. You obviously have never watched Tom Brady's career. He makes bombs look like great wide receivers. Bums, I think you mean. Bums look like great wide receivers all the time, Tom Brady. I think DTWD is talking to somebody else in here. It's been reported that San Francisco is looking. I could see them taking Barkley at the right deal. They can make the money work. Like, let's be honest. The cap is fake. Gronk would go to Miami. Yeah, can you imagine that? Maybe that's why Gronk... Like, think about it. That's actually a really good point. There's a lot of little things that you could pull together and later on be like, okay, never mind, it was nothing. But you could also say, like, McDaniel maybe wanted Brady. Now McDaniel's vying Brady, saying, hey, let's stick it to everybody that didn't want you. I wanted you, and I couldn't have you. Now I can get you. Tom Brady, come over. Let's bring Gronk over. That might be... Why isn't Gronk signed? Why isn't Gronk signed? Why isn't Gronk decided to go? Gronk literally said, I think I'm going to play football when Brady retired. Then Brady comes back and Gronk doesn't come back yet. Maybe Brady's had this plan the whole time. I did say that Brady retiring could have been a ploy to maybe get traded, as his rights. But when he returned, I'm like, okay, never mind. He's returning to Tampa. He no longer has dreams of playing elsewhere. But look, Adams was tagged. Rodgers came back, and then Adams left. Like, if anybody thinks that Tom Brady coming back and then just leaving, or that Tampa Bay trading him doesn't make sense, then we can't make sense of anything that's happened this offseason. That's my point, is nothing makes sense anymore. When we break it down from why would a team get rid of a winning quarterback? Why would a team get rid of a top 6 quarterback in Russell Wilson? Why would they? I don't know why. They did not have a replacement. Why would the Cardinals trade Kyler Murray? And they didn't. But I would have said no way they trade him unless they get an upgrade or a perceived upgrade. They wouldn't just get rid of their quarterback and have no quarterback. Like, now I'm looking back, I'm like, holy crap. The way all these teams are operating right now, that could have happened. Like, it's different right now. For whatever reason, teams are trading and blowing things up. Maybe they're looking at all the talent stacked on some of these teams and they're like, we'll come back in 3 or 4 years and put together something to compete with this. Maybe that's why Seattle did what they did. Maybe Seattle said, look, we've got Russell Wilson, but we can't win. We can't win competing against the Niners, the Cardinals, like the Seahawks have the Rams. Like, we have a tough road and tall order in front of us in order to make the playoffs. Let's blow it up and build and come back stronger 2 or 3 years from now. Maybe that's what they thought, but I would have told you before the offseason even began. So, like, let's say the day of the Super Bowl, the day after the Super Bowl. Hey, Smitty, is it possible that the Seahawks trade Russell Wilson without a backup plan and they don't get another quarterback in return? Absolutely not. Take a lap. I would have made anybody take a lap that said that. It just wouldn't make sense. It didn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense, to be honest. Would the Green Bay Packers, Smitty, trade Devontae Adams after they brought Rodgers back? 0% chance that happens, Bob. 0%. Absolute zero. It happened. There is no logical part of my brain, and I believe anybody's out there that said this makes sense. Aaron Rodgers would struggle to come back to Green Bay because he's worried about weapons. He's worried about winning. He wants to be surrounded by talent. There was no chance on this earth, no chance in my mind that Rodgers would, okay, I'll come back to Green Bay, knowing that Adams was going to leave. And he said, or reports say, that he knew that was coming. And that doesn't make sense to me. Part of me doesn't believe it. Even if Aaron Rodgers 100% confirms it, and I don't know if he did on the McAfee show or not. If anybody knows that Rodgers actually confirmed that Adams was leaving, let me know in the chat. Because to be honest, I'm blanking on whether those words came from Aaron Rodgers. But even if Aaron Rodgers admitted, hey, I knew that could probably happen, I don't buy it. I don't buy it that he thought it was going to go down. I think he may have been like, okay, Adams is mad at me or something, and I'm going to call his bluff, and he'll cool off. He'll cool off, and he won't want to leave. Like, that is the most I can make of it. Like, there's no way I believe Rodgers knew he was leaving and backed into Green Bay and said, give me the deal. And it's not all about money. Okay? It's not all about money. Rodgers, congratulations, you played yourself. I don't know that he played. Like, I don't know if it can't be all about money, because he would have got money anywhere. He wasn't getting traded to Denver to sign a way less type of deal, like a smaller dollar deal. Like, they would have given him the same kind of money. And so for everybody that says it's about money, it's not about money. He would have gotten that money anywhere. He would have gotten plenty of money, enough money. He literally took less money than he could have got in Green Bay to bring in more free agents. He literally said, I want to do a team-friendly deal, and they dialed the contract down from the original report. So stop saying it's about money. It's not just about money. He could have got the money he got elsewhere. It's not about money. For Tom Brady, he would have got it. Stop saying that. He would have got it. He's not getting $50 million somewhere else. He got $140 whatever guaranteed. He would have got that in Denver. He would have got that anywhere he went. He made a team-friendlier deal so they could afford to bring back free agents and sign new free agents. So it was not about just money. But I find it really hard to believe that Aaron Rodgers wasn't thinking, I'm going to call Adams' bluff, and if he does leave, whatever, we'll figure it out. Like, arrogant about it like that. But I don't think he believed it was happening. Man, can you imagine Tom Brady in Miami? I mean, this is going to be crazy if it ends up having legs. This is a rumor. If you're just joining, it's not me predicting it. It's not on the way of happening. I'm refreshing news constantly. I'm making sure I'm dialed in as I'm talking to you. To every source I have access to. Like, I'm literally refreshing as the whole live stream moves along. But I think it's important to talk about it because it could happen. It could happen. Anything can happen. Arians likes Tua, says Aaron, so he can believe it. I mean, that's the thing. Here's the thing, and I'm glad you brought that up, because if there was a trade to go down, Tua would be traded. Tua would be a problem to have on the roster if you did trade for Tom Brady, because Tua, this guy McDaniel, got on the plane, got a little excited, made a little bit of a rookie mistake. He got on the phone and did FaceTime with Tua right when he got on the plane heading to Miami. He goes, "You're my guy. We're gonna make you a star." He pot committed to Tua. Tua, you're the guy for the end of time. You're my guy. He fully committed to him over FaceTime. It was kind of funny. Would Godwin, yes, and Fournette have signed? I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know if Tom Brady, this could be brewing after those signings happen. Tom Brady might leave those guys hanging, true, but it's a business, And if Tom Brady's getting an offer he can't refuse, I don't even know if he has a no trade clause in his contract. To be honest, I don't think he does. He might. We'll have to look into that. But it would be up to Miami. Look, Tom Brady's going to have pull whether he has a no trade clause or not because he almost retired. So Tom Brady could say, if you let's say they wanted to trade him to the Lions, and he's like, "I'm not going to the Lions," and they're like, "Yeah, Tom, you're going to the Lions. We can trade you wherever we want." He'd probably say, "Well, I'm retiring then." So they would. He does have a say. He does have some authority on the matter whether there's a no trade clause or not. Somebody let me know if he's got a no trade clause. If you end up having to know that information. He called Gage personally and called Godwin. True, but again, doesn't mean things don't change. Plus, again, it wouldn't be about him. It would be about, hey, the Dolphins are offering, the Bucks want to accept Brady. Would you play there? Brady goes, play with, I feel bad. Sorry, Gage. Sorry, Godwin. Sorry, Fournette. I feel bad. But not to play with Tyreek Hill, Waddle, and Mostert. Literally 4-3 running backs. Or 4-3 wide receiver running backs, combos. This 3 is the fastest trio we've ever seen. This would be insane. He's not going to the Lions. Gronk was going to retire. Who said he's going to the Lions, bro? Who said he's going to my my example of how he would say no, we know he's not going to the Lions. It would take the Dolphins 4 first-rounders, Waddle. Man, that would suck if Waddle got traded in that. It wouldn't shock me if he had to be thrown in, and I would not want that. I would not want that. I want Waddle with Brady. Can you imagine that? WTF do you mean the Bucs are offering? The Bucs offense is way better, says Eddie. Why would Tom Brady go back to the East and play against those cold weather teams? It's not up to Brady ultimately, but 3-keeper league. Who should I keep? Mahomes, Mixon, Swift, Waddle, AJ Brown. God, I would have said Waddle in a heartbeat. I would have said Mahomes in a heartbeat, and it's like now downgrades to. I mean, I probably keep Swift. I probably keep Mahomes and Mahomes, Swift, AJ Brown. You could go Mixon, Swift, and AJ Brown, and maybe draft both Mahomes and Waddle back. I bet you Mahomes and Waddle are easier to draft back. Said, and if you agree, you might want to keep the other 3 and try and draft them both back. Plus, you can get a Herbert or a Burrow or whatever if you lose Mahomes. Mixon's got maybe 1 good year left before we start worrying about him and at least having a conversation. But he could be more than 1 year. But I'm just saying, like, after this 1 year, we're going to be having a conversation about whether Mixon's going to continue to play at a high level or not. He's been worked into the ground. But Swift, AJ Brown are locks, and then from that point, it's like I probably want to keep Waddle. I just wonder if you could draft him back. If you don't think you could draft Waddle back, keep Waddle, Swift, and AJ Brown. That's my final answer. If you think you can draft Waddle back, then maybe keep Mahomes. That's tough, man. AJ Brown and Swift are pretty good locks, though, in that situation. But you could really go 100 different ways. It really comes down to who can you draft back. This was the best time to get some picks for Hill, and they got 5. I'm not so worried about 5. I'm worried about first rounders and maybe second rounders. I don't care about other picks. I don't care about thirds. I don't care about anything later than first and maybe seconds. But I could just see this happening. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I have no evidence right now at all. It's just a big rumor spreading around all over the place. Let me see if there's anything else being reported on it. There's also some Desean Watson news. I meant to go live to talk about this topic that I'm about to talk about now, but we didn't have time. I'm thinking about going live after this to talk about Desean Watson on a separate video just to keep them compartmentalized because it's such a big topic. But I wanted to talk about how Desean Watson is potentially going to fight the civil claims, which I said last night in private conversations. Just I don't think he would do that. I don't think he would try and fight him. I think now that he got 230 guaranteed, he's gonna want to settle and move on quick. But the word is that Watson's going to fight the 22 cases now, which is going to be part of a distraction, right? And if he fails, and I know everyone's going to say he won't because he didn't get brought up on criminal charges, but it's a little different, and the burden of proof's different. Everything's different in civil. Civil's a lot harder. It's a lot easier to win in civil because it's not about like a jury unanimously deciding guilty or innocence. So if he loses, there's some talk, which is crazy, and I have to look into it, and that's why I might end the live and research it and come back live again after this show ends and talk about this in detail. But there's talk about through Mike Florio on Pro Football Talk that Watson could land on the commissioner exempt list. Now, this is I got to look into this because I want to figure out the details, because as I understood it, you could not be tossed on the commissioner exempt list unless you were in a criminal situation. These are civil, and even if he fights them and loses, I don't know where Florio's going with this and why he thinks that he would be open and subject to the commissioner exempt list if he decides to fight the cases. As it says right here, one option Florio said would involve Watson landing on the exempt list, which is paid leave essentially, and then serving an unpaid suspension thereafter. So far, The signals from Watson's camp point to fighting all the cases and trying to win them, Florio said. Once they realize that the league may decide to keep him from playing until the legal fight ends, Watson's camp may decide to take a different approach. There's a real chance Watson could be suspended at the start of the 2022 NFL season. I don't really know where this part's coming from because, to my knowledge, and again, I might, that's why I might come back to, after I research it and talk to some people that I know that I trust on this, that if you're not involved in a criminal situation right now, it's not a criminal charge, you're not facing a criminal charge whatsoever, and there's not an open criminal investigation, which there was probing going on, I don't know how he can land on the exempt list. These are civil. Even if he fights them, they're civil. So I'm a little confused as to where he's getting this angle from, because to my knowledge, he can't be put on the exempt list. So I want to find out why Florio's saying this. I want to find out what loophole there might be in this league rule, potentially, that if you're in an ongoing investigation, that is involving civil, like, is there some kind of a loophole that can make the commissioner have the ability to put him on the exempt list? I don't know. I don't really feel like he has this right. He might. He's a pretty smart guy. I'm not saying he doesn't come out with bad takes. I'm not saying he doesn't try to just make waves and get a splashy headline out there. But he is quite a smart individual along the legal lines and stuff like that. So I'm going to look into what it is that's causing this. The code of conduct violation. What happens, Michael? Is there a certain loophole or verbiage in the commissioner exempt list usage in the NFL rules and policies that allow you to put a player on the exempt list, even if it's civil, if there's a code of conduct violation? I don't know. I'm going to look into that and probably come back, but just wanted to let you know this is being reported by NBC Sports Mike Florio, that there is a potential, according to him, and I don't know that I agree yet, potential situation where he gets put on the exempt list if he's trying to fight these situations and doesn't settle. So I'll let you know for sure what's going on, but to my knowledge, this wasn't on the table. The exempt list wasn't on the table, so it's kind of strange news. I'll probably break that down later as I find more. Cliff says NFL do whatever they think is best for them, but that's why the rule has changed, though. The players union, like the collective bargaining, all that. This was decided that the exempt list could no longer be used by the commissioner on civil matters. Like, boom, you're on the exempt list, or without any evidence of criminality, like taking Zeke and just putting him on the exempt list. Taking this player, putting him on the exempt list. Josh Gordon on the exempt list. Like, you can't do that anymore because the players and the association got tired of Goodell overreaching with the exempt list. So it was made known that if it wasn't criminal, you couldn't be placed on it. Civil couldn't put you on the exempt list. An accusation couldn't put you on the exempt list. Violating personal conduct may be the loophole. I'll look into that. But why wasn't that being reported when everyone was reporting that exempt list was off the table? We already knew that Watson violated the personal conduct policy. And if anybody thinks he didn't, they don't understand the case, because Watson may be innocent of any criminality, but he most certainly admitted to a lot of these encounters that were very strange and put the NFL in bad light. The way he reached out to these random people, made them sign non-disclosures to come massage them and all that. There's a lot of details that people think are tossed into the didn't happen because he wasn't brought up on charges. So many people don't know what's going on with the case. And to be honest, it's so detailed. There's a lot I don't know. And so it's hard to even speak on some of these angles because it's a very complicated case. But he most certainly has admitted to a lot of the consensual acts that took place that the NFL deem as violating their personal conduct policy. So everybody needs to understand that a suspension is going to happen. Whether he settles or fights these cases and wins, even if he fights them and wins, he will probably be suspended. People need to understand that winning the cases doesn't mean that he's clear of violating the league's personal conduct policy, because even if he's innocent in civil court and in criminal, he still went outside the league with all these strange arrangements, over 20 to 30 signed disclosures to come over and perform all this stuff. The league doesn't like that. The league's not okay with it. The league doesn't condone that. The league's going to let him know, and the league's going to suspend him. So no matter what, he's most likely facing a 4 to 8 game suspension. Even if he wins like a lot of people think if he wins, he's out. No. If he wins, he's still getting suspended. And the league doesn't want him to fight it, apparently. For nothing but Niners by Nature said, Florio said Tampa, Tom Brady 12 was going to the Niners, and he was wrong. Yeah, so he can try and make waves and drop these strange takes. And he is an opinionated reporter, not a fact-based reporter. You know, like Schefter or Rappaport. I look at those guys as factual, fact-based reporters and not opinion people. So, yeah. Let's go to the voicemails and see what you guys have. Drew. I think Brady is going next season. Cap. Watson will miss time. Cap. Brady is and will be a buck. Cap. AP came back better after his Achilles. You mean ACL. Don't get me riled up, Jamie. Don't get me riled up. No one, Jamie, has come back from an Achilles injury. Nobody, Jamie. Okay, where are my voice messages, guys? I think this is old. Okay. Let's hit the voicemails.
It's voicemail time. Drop a voicemail at the Fantasy Football Show on the gram. Tell your grandma.
He'll punch you in the throat.
Tell your grandma, everyone. Tell your grandma. Cliff. Appreciate you, Cliff. Jeremy. Appreciate you, Drew. Jamie, Joel, Sacktown, Michael. The issue here is with respect to a pattern of behavior and good judgments, Goodell said on Big Ben. Instagram's having trouble loading today. Subscribe if you're new. Punch the thumbs up button on your way in the door. Wipe your feet. Be honest. Do you see Kaepernick getting a job before Jimmy? They both seem unlikely at this point. I feel like Cap could go to Seattle, but that's it. Like, that's his only shot. Jimmy, he could get cut or get traded, so maybe slightly more of a chance that Jimmy gets a job, but both of them are not looking like they're likely going to get jobs. So, Smitty... No, I'm not sure what your no is referring to. Watson should sue ESPN, says Mitchell. Smitty, I'll drop a voice message for you in just a few minutes. It's going to be about Kyler. Okay, Drew, I'm looking for it, pal. There's too much credible people saying Brady is wanting to go to Miami for this to be just a rumor, and I agree that there's likely a chance that this could have legs, but will it work out? I don't know. Like, you know, I think there's some truth to that. There's thoughts that this could be a situation. No voicemail because I'm at work. Okay, Lang, I'll do it for you, Lang. Normally I do not. We'll read this. We'll do this just for Lang this one time, because Lang is a valued member of this community. I'm not reading it. Why won't it speak?
Not a voicemail because I'm at work. But how do you feel about Brandon Cooks and why do so many underrate him?
I'm not sure if you guys caught that. I speed read I speed voice to text, but I'll play it for you again. Let me know if you guys can understand what he's saying here. I can, but
not a voicemail because I'm at work. But how do you feel about Brandon Cooks and why do so many underrate him?
Why do so many underrate him? I can't do a voicemail because I'm at work. Question about Brandon Cooks. Why do so many people underrate him? Injury. He continues to get injured, Lang. He continues to get injured. That's why. People worry about that. I get it. He's very talented. But will he stay healthy? He also has concussion issues, which could trigger at any moment.
And is he a viable WR in fantasy for you?
Is he a viable WR in fantasy for me? I would say like wide receiver 3, sure. But am I going to draft him as a 2? No, I'm not going to draft him as a 2. Let's see here. Next voice message. Drop it like it's hot in the voicemail group, guys. I'll let this refresh. Instagram's acting up, so I'll go back to that in a second. Thank you for the super chat, Niner by Nature. Appreciate you. Bro has 1K in 6 out of 8 seasons. It's true. Cooks to the Saints says exit. Brandon Cooks, another top 20 season incoming. He could. Cooks is overhated. Agreed. I think it's people are just afraid he's going to have those concussions or whatever. Is Miami really better than Tampa Bay? Yeah. I mean, I think so. You got McDaniel making moves. This coach is special. Honestly, Niner by Nature, put on your earmuffs. I don't want you to get upset on this, but Niners kept the wrong coach. I know that McDaniel would have had to have been elevated to head coach, but you know what? As much as I love Shanahan, we don't know how much of Shanahan's scheming and play calling and play building and construction was McDaniel. Like it's safe to say we could potentially find out that Shanahan, he's good, but McDaniel's better. And McDaniel's showing he's got balls of steel to go out and make all these moves and now creating potential waves about acquiring Tom Brady. Shanahan's literally hanging on to Jimmy G and refusing to play with confidence. He's refusing to back publicly his number 3 overall pick. So, in my view, Shanahan's dropping the ball and looking like a fool, and McDaniel's looking like a genius. So, earmuffs can come off, Niner by Nature. That's unfortunately how I feel about this at the moment. And Niner by Nature, while having the earmuffs on, Niner by Nature drops a $50 super chat. Appreciate that, Niner by Nature. And if you want in the Fantasy Football Cooper Cup League, that qualifies you. DM me on Instagram and send me a message real quick and let me know when you've sent it. Appreciate you dropping that, Niner by Nature. I feel bad now telling you that right when you dropped the super chat. Give me my 50 back, Smitty. But, hey, Niner by Nature, you have to admit, McDaniels is looking pretty good right now. Like, his aggressiveness is impressive. So, appreciate you dropping that super chat. I'm sorry if what I said makes you want to take it back. It's just how I feel right now about McDaniel. It's more about McDaniel than anything. It's not saying that Kyle isn't a good coach, necessarily. I think he's making grave mistakes with Trey. But I feel like McDaniel's showing balls of steel, and I think everyone in San Francisco is going, man, what do we do letting this guy go? This guy's making waves. He was probably held back by Shanny too. I bet you a lot of what he wanted to do and implement was held back by Shanny. Yeah, Niner by Nature. Appreciate that. I feel bad talking about Shanny like that right when that super chat dropped, Niner. McVay and McDaniels might get a ring before Shanahan. Okay, so you're just saying give it back. You're joking. You are a little bit critical of Shanny. I remember you being a little critical of Shanny. Tony.
What's up, Smitty? So let's talk about Amari Cooper with Watson. Is he a wide receiver 1 now?
We've talked about this a couple times, Tony. It's a great question. I'm glad you asked it again because I haven't been asked it in a while, and I think people do want to know how I feel about Amari. I think Amari's got potential for low-end wide receiver 1 numbers, but I'm drafting him at most as a high-end wide receiver 2. And I'd take him as a wide receiver 1 in like a situation where I went 0 wide receiver. You know what I mean? Like if I go running back, Josh Allen, or something to that degree, then my first wide receiver, my wide receiver 1 being Amari would be good. I would very much like that. That would be fine. Like Amari and Evans being my number 1 and number 2 wide receiver. Amari and St. Brown, and then let's say I traded up and I had Swift and JT and Mark Andrews or Josh Allen. Like Amari could be a great wide receiver 1 in that situation, but I'm not drafting him as a wide receiver 1.
Hey, Smitty, I asked this before, so sorry if I missed it, but I was just curious. How much do you think, like, the Cardinals' free agents and, maybe Kyler thinking that the road ahead would be a little bit harder going forward had to do with his decision to want to try to get a contract right now instead of earning it? Thanks so much.
Yeah, I did answer this in tremendous detail, so it's okay, AC. I'll answer it again briefly so we don't bore the audience, AC, but I appreciate you. Kyler Murray, a lot of things I think are at play right now for Kyler. The one thing I'll say just at the top is it seems like Kyler's ready to shut up a little bit. He's seeing all these contracts get handed down, and it could have went 2 ways. One way, him get very upset and bicker more, complain more, cry more because $230 million guaranteed going to Watson, who's facing 22 civil cases and had 1 pending criminal grand jury situation still to come after he signed that contract, and that ended up being a nothing burger. But he's facing 22 criminal situations, and he did put the NFL in bad light. It's not like he didn't do some of these things consensually. He's fighting that any of it was done non-consensually. But he did put the NFL in bad light. He did reach out to like 20 or 30 people on Instagram saying, come over and sign this non-disclosure, and, my name's Desean Watson, and, like it was a strange situation. So Kyler's probably upset. Why can't I have a big deal like this? Why can't I? And so I thought he was going to go off the deep end, but it seems like he's being advised, just be quiet, keep your head down. And he did an interview where he said that taking off the Cardinals had nothing to do with the Cardinals on the social media, which is a bunch of cap. But he's starting to try and pull back, I think, and maybe he's going to keep his head down, play 1 more year, act like he's going to be, a better leader in the locker room from the get-go. And I think he gets an extension if he plays well this year, stays healthy, and keeps his head down and starts leading. And then the Cardinals maybe could head in the right direction. Do I think part of him wanted to answer your question? Part of him freaked out because he felt like he was going to lose or not be supported, or the free agency had anything to do with it. I think it just came down to he's afraid that if he gets hurt again, he got hurt, and he can't succeed, and maybe he's afraid that the Cardinals aren't prepared enough to win, that he's going to be to blame because he's pointing fingers. And so he wants his money now because he doesn't trust that the Cardinals are going to be able to do it. That's my thinking. He doesn't trust anybody else. He's selfish about it. He pointed fingers. He didn't even go back into the game in the final snap of the playoff loss to snap the ball with his own teammates, which is ridiculous. So he's blaming everybody else. And I think he wanted to have control because he felt like he had no control. 2-minute rundown on hot chip from yesterday. It was hot. I put the chip in my mouth. It didn't seem bad at first. It got progressively worse. It got hotter and hotter. I had to flood myself with liquids to try and dissipate it. I did eat pepperoni pizza with spicy peppers on top before. And actually, as we were making it, it was ironic that we were making that pizza. But I'm like, hey, this might help to get spice in my stomach already. And I do think it helped me because I had already eaten a little bit of spicy pizza about 10 minutes before I ate the hot chip. And I think my stomach did a lot better than I anticipated because I was already prepared and getting hit by spice. So it worked out a little better than I thought. And I didn't plan it until I was acknowledging this could help me while we were eating it. But it wasn't as bad as I thought. Definitely had a stomachache a little later, but it was horrible. It was horrible. It tasted horrible. I would never do it again, But I thought I was going to do a lot worse than I did. But so that was crazy. I eat that. You can watch that on Instagram. Kyle Shanahan starts Jimmy G next year. He will lose the fan base if he does. Yeah, he'll probably get fired too. If he literally drives the team into the ground for a year. Look, Trey Lance hasn't played in a while. Like, he played a little last year, but you can't have him ride the bench again. He's going to get rusty. He's going to lose that edge. There's a lot to being young and dominating at a young age. It makes you better. It makes you, if you're younger and dominating and you get to grow inside of all of that, you end up excelling even further. You have this huge edge and advantage of being able to grow inside of that process and getting better. If you don't grow inside that, if you put him on the bench at 21 and you try and use him at 23, he's going to be right even with everybody, but actually behind because he's going to try and have to catch up. Like right now, you throw him in there, he might be raw. He might not be able to, he might have to learn on the job, but he's so young, he'll mature quicker and he'll build stronger given that he's at a young age. It's such an important thing, like breakout age they talk about in fantasy football a lot. And if you're an older player breaking out in college, you're less likely to succeed at the NFL level because you're probably already plateaued in terms of talent and ability to grow as a talent, as a physical specimen. But when you're younger, when you're 20 years old and you break out, or 19 years old and you break out, that tells you that if you can break out at 19, 20 years old amongst older players, when you get to the next level and you're inserted in, you're going to take this crazy jump in terms of talent and growth, because you're literally, it's kind of like, think about it in a weird way. It's kind of like when you work out with people that are stronger than you get stronger quicker than they do. Like, you climb to their level really fast. Okay? When you work out with people that are weaker than you, and you're using, you're not being pushed, you're not doing weights you shouldn't be doing, you don't grow as fast. It's like similar to that. You throw a wide receiver in with a 19-year-old in with 20-year-olds, they catch up quicker, and if they've got the talent, they're gonna be more prepared for the next stage and next level. So it's gonna be crazy. No, bro, Miami Mike hasn't proved anything yet. Just wait, bro. McDaniels is going to be, I think he's going to be special. Kyle Trask isn't ready. They get Tua. If the Dolphins did acquire Tom Brady, they would send Tua the other direction. Smitty, so I shouldn't prepare for Trey to rush for 1K while throwing for 5. I think Trey Lance starts. I think that Jimmy won't be, like, if we break it down, what's up, Todd? If we break it down from a logical perspective, Jimmy can't throw right now. And who are you gonna actually say, okay, we're going with Jimmy, but we can't use him till, for months to start throwing and be effective? Like, you're really gonna just like hold off from practicing, hold off from building your offense? Like, Trey will be chosen as the starter. It'll be his job to lose. Could he lose it because Shanahan is not supporting Trey? It's possible. But I think Trey will ultimately, by default, get the job. But we'll see. Hopefully Jimmy G's off the roster. Hopefully something happens there. Only reason Mike got his promotion to OC with us for that 1 year is because we lost Salah, and Salah took our other OC, Mike LaFleur, with him to the Jets. Sacktown, I don't agree with that. I think McDaniel's a little genius, bro. I've heard people, very, very respectable players, say that they would bet every dollar in their bank account, statements like that he knows more about the X's and O's of football than anybody you put in a room with him. Like, there's been some crazy, bold statements made about his intellect and ability to read and create plays and schemes. I think McDaniel was the better keep over Shanahan. If you could, and I didn't really know this at the time, I'll be honest with you. I learned more and more about how involved McDaniel was as the trade was going down, or as the signing was going down, and as he was, inking his deal, and all this news came out. And I did a lot of learning about McDaniel and his involvement in the Niners offense and system after the signing, after the move to Miami. So I admit I didn't have a full grasp, and I should have, on how good McDaniel was and how good he was as a piece of the Niners coaching staff in the process and scheme. But I've heard so many good things about this guy, from an intellectual level and a play creation level and the X's and O's, that I'm firmly believing that he's going to be absolutely a monster. And if you don't feel like what he's done already has been unbelievable, then I don't know you're just a hater on the Dolphins, maybe. I don't know. But Tua, Swaggy says Tua is not it. Maybe that's why he might make a trade for Tom Brady. Like, I believe in this McDaniel guy. I think he's going to figure it out. If he doesn't see Tua as the answer, he'll make a move. Like, he's not the kind of guy that's going to sit around and let Tua screw it up. McDaniel's going to move. He's going to jump. You don't get the job done, he's going to trade for somebody who can get it done, and he's willing to pay the price. He's got balls of steel to make it happen. I'm really, really intrigued by McDaniel, and I think he could become one of the better coaches in the NFL immediately. He's already proving he can make things done. He can get the ball rolling. That's half the battle. Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Mostert, Edmonds, Gaskin. He's got weapons galore. Gesicki, Parker, I believe, still on the roster as far as I know. I don't even know anybody's looking that direction, but literally has weapons galore. Defense, he's going to be fine. The offensive line, literally going to be one of the craftiest teams in the NFL out the gate, and that's with Tua. If they get Tom Brady, you might as well hand them the NFL Super Bowl trophy right now, because if Tom Brady goes to Miami, they will win the Super Bowl, in my opinion. They have too much speed and talent for defenses to contain, and Tom Brady still has a cannon and a stronger arm than he's ever had at this point, even though he's older. Oh man, this is gonna get crazy. Okay, guys, subscribe if you're new. Punch the thumbs up. If you haven't already, we got 99 to 110 people in here constantly. We had like 150, 160 earlier. Please punch the thumbs up. Help the channel grow. Spread the word. Go to smitty1.com/underdog if you would like to play DFS and do prop style contests. You can do March Madness stuff right now, NBA basketball. Go to smitty1.com/underdog. Do that now and help your boy Smitty. That also helps the channel when you do that. So I might be back to talk about this Watson stuff. We did cover it, but I think it might need its own show, its own special little segment. So I might do that. And of course, guys, I can't stress enough that if breaking news happens, thanks again, Niner by Nature, for the super chat. Who else super chatted? We had not Joel with the super chat. Run down on the hot chip. Thank you, Joel, for that super chat. We had Niner by Nature, man. That's a nice little super chat. $5 as well, so $55 today. Appreciate you. Said, I got third pick in the snake draft. Said, I'm sorry I missed this. Is there another follow-up question you have? Just post it real quick and I'll try and answer it. Appreciate you. Oh, Said, here was Said's other 3-keeper league. Oh, okay, that was that one question. You have in the snake league, the snake draft. You said the third pick, so you could technically draft back probably Mahomes. Mixon probably too. I would keep Waddle because of the keeper value. I wouldn't want to lose that. Waddle, Swift, and AJ Brown, or Waddle, Swift, and Mixon. But I'll probably go AJ Brown and then draft Mixon back, or get a better running back than Mixon. There's probably one or two that could be there. I don't know if you can draft rookies in your draft. Mahomes you could draft back. I would definitely keep Swift, Waddle, and AJ Brown if it was me. Appreciate your super chat. Got another super chat from, so that's 2 from Said. 1 from Overcome on the Godwin comment. Thank you for that, Overcome. Appreciate you. And then I think there's another one up here. Bear with me real quick. If I missed you, I already probably called you out, but I appreciate that. Got my tray fixed today. I was jonesing. Appreciate you. Trey's king of the NFC. I still firmly believe that. Bucks would be done with Arians before done with Brady. You know what? We thought that, Jamie, about the reverse. We thought the Seattle Seahawks would get rid of Pete Carroll before they get rid of Russell Wilson. This isn't the offseason to be like, hey, this will for sure happen or this won't happen. You know what I mean? Answering to a question, if you replace him with Herbert, what happens? Replace who with Herbert? If you put Herbert in, which won't happen, Herbert's the GOAT in a Chargers uniform, that's not changing. But I think you're hypothetically asking if you put Herbert in a Dolphins uniform, Super Bowl, without question, in my mind. King of the NFC, Smitty, what are your thoughts on Devontae Smith? I like him, but it's a horrible situation. Amazing wide receiver, a lot of talent, but maybe he gets his growth stunted by this Eagles organization. So I'm not like extremely excited about this year. I'm hopeful, but I don't know. Dynasty, keep 3. Herbert and Javonte Williams are locked in. So between Watson, Keenan Allen, and DJ Moore, if it's a 2 QB league, Watson for sure. If not, then I go Keenan Allen, then DJ Moore, then Watson in that order. If it's a 2 QB league, you got to make Watson the other keeper. But I love Herbert and Javonte. It's fantastic. All right, guys, subscribe if you're new. Please punch the thumbs up button on your way out the door. And I could be back. I very much believe I will be back. I think we got some more voicemails here. Hold on one second. AC, I appreciate you. I was kidding with you.
What's up, guys? Another question. Fournette. What are we thinking? Possibly top 5 finish again? Guy had about 800 yards rushing, 500 receiving, maybe a full season. What are we thinking about Fournette?
I mean, if Brady stays, potential top 10 running back, but I wouldn't draft him as a running back 1, though. I'd be very careful. And then what if Brady leaves? Then who knows what he's going to be.
Smitty, what do you think are the most overrated and underrated free agent signings of this offseason? Maybe one each.
Thank you, AC. Christian Kirk, overrated. Even though his deal is really a paper tiger deal, it's $37 million guaranteed 2 years, voidable third and fourth years, so $84 million is not really his deal. But still, $37 million. He's still averaging like top 5 for wide receivers in the NFL, I believe, per season. So Christian Kirk, overrated. Underrated moves of the offseason. Russell Wilson, because of how it impacts not only him, but the team. They're a Super Bowl contending team immediately. And Russell Wilson is a top 5 potential quarterback at fantasy football 2022. Let's not forget Russell Wilson's always been capable of that. And he's kind of vanished for half of a year, most years, and does really well. And he's a top 5 guy. And the impact he has to Javonte Williams is insane. And the 2 defensive moves, J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack, how they impact Justin Herbert is beyond measure. Herbert, I think, if the Denver doesn't surprise everybody, Herbert wins the Super Bowl, wins the MVP, and the Chargers look like absolute monsters. So that would be my 2. And those are not indirect because, Wilson's affected there. But I mean, like, the effect Wilson has on multiple people is what I love. And then the Hill to Miami, if Brady ends up in Miami, that movie ends up being great. Tyreek Hill to the moon. Tyreek Hill in Miami with Tom Brady, if that ends up being something, which again, guys, on your way out the door, know that it's a rumor, and I had to talk about it. I don't know how much factual information surrounding this situation is out there. We can't really grasp whether it's cap or fact. But if Brady was in Miami, Tyreek Hill and Waddle, both top 10 wide receivers. Guaranteed one of them's top 5, maybe both of them are top 7. Like, that would be crazy. It would be a crazy change of events. Adams leaving Green Bay makes Aaron Rodgers a lot lesser. There's so many different impacts that occurred from all this trading. Ortiz says, Smitty, would you trade Judy for Renfro and a 2022 second in a Superflex? I'd rather have Judy, personally. That's just how I feel. Tyreek going to have a Debo role regardless, says Aaron. I mean, we thought that about Waddle, and Waddle still might have a little bit of a Debo role, but it's going to be far less if Brady's not in town. There'll only be so many footballs to go around. I do think Tyreek Hill is one of those players that's always a risk for injury. He plays 100,000 miles per hour. Those speedy guys that run the 340, these guys are so capable of soft tissue and hamstring injuries. You know what I'm saying? Master dropping the big wad super chat. Brother Umberger gives his regards. What? Are you with Umberger? He can't access his YouTube account for a number of years. I guess he got banned for threatening the counselor on some... Okay. So Umberger is dropping a super chat through Master. I appreciate you, Master. This is amazing. Umberger dropping $100 super chat through his friend. This does not shock me to the slightest. This does not raise an eyebrow. Like, do I look like a man that's surprised that Umberger super chatted me $100 through a friend? Do I look like, does this have the look of surprise on my face? I'm not shocked at all. Umberger does things in a very unorthodox fashion. It wouldn't shock me at all if Umberger parachuted into my studio right now. That's the way Umberger does things. Appreciate you, Master, being the middleman here. And I've noticed you on the channel too, so I believe you do watch as well. So very glad to have you here. Thank you, Umberger, for this amazing gesture on your part. This passing funds over to Master to get it done. Appreciate you. You're also tied for the high super chat. Richard, I believe, is number one with a $100 super chat on the year. So Umberger, you have tied Richard. You both are the top super chatters of the year so far. So I will put you both. It'll say Master Umberger, I think is what I'm going to put, so that you're both credited / Richard as the two. In fact, let me go ahead and put that in the corner right now. $100 super chat, high super chat on year, Master Umberger and Richard. So until anybody dethrones these fine gentlemen right here, they will sit in the corner of all of the live streams moving forward for the year until somebody breaks that record of $100. And Niner by Nature dropping the 50 spot today. You guys are awesome. You guys keep the lights on. You make me not want to leave now because I don't know who's going to come in next with a 50 or 100 spot. So maybe we just sit here for a few minutes. maybe we sit here and wonder if Umberger is contacting yet another friend right now. Master Burger. Master Umberger and Richard are the top super chatters of the year on a single super chat of $100, which I got to put on there. Super chat of the year dash 100 biscuits right there. Put that in the corner there. Umberger's the man. I'm really saddened by Umberger being like banned. I don't know what that's about. Umberger, message me on Instagram or DM me on Discord. I think you got my Discord. In fact, I'm going to DM Umberger on Discord right now. Let's see. Umberger. Umberger. I don't have him in here. Where is he at? Oh, maybe it's on... Yeah, I think I know how to contact Umberger. Umberger, I'm going to message you right now on Sleeper right now, okay? Yo. Give me the details on what happened, bro. And I appreciate you. Maybe Master's joking. Maybe Master has no contact with Umberger. I don't know. Master, let me know what's going on with that. Drew's accepting the challenge. You can't do a custom amount for a super chat, Drew said. I don't know. Is 100 the most you can do? I'm not even sure. I'm not sure. I mean, I suppose you could do 2 super chats in a row and I would count them as one. You know, obviously, but no pressure on that, but just letting you know in case it doesn't let you. How much for a tee? Go to smitty1.com/merch if you want to pick up any of the merch that I've got. Smitty1.com/merch. If you would like to get any merch, that's where you would go. Watching another podcast last night and YouTube cut the feed because they played a video of a little bit too long. What video did they play? What are you talking about? It goes $99.99 to $199. Okay. I mean, you could drop like $100 and then drop like another $10 and whatever, or $5 or whatever, and you could get the top spot, Drew. If you wanted, I'll totally include 2 back-to-backs. I'm not gonna not include 2 back-to-backs. It's more so like if they're different shows. If the super chats are in the same show, I'll add that up as a top super chat of the day. So no problem and no pressure. I'm just letting you know. NFL highlights. Yeah, you can't play that stuff on YouTube. Like, people do that all the time, bro. And I don't know why. But what are you talking about, Cliff? What was that for? Smitty, how much for a tee? Go to smitty1.com/merch. Give me a few days and I will break the record, says Niner by Nature. Wow. We've got a little competition going on here. And Niner by Nature, make sure you DM me on Instagram so I can get you in the fantasy league where you can... Do you even know what that is, Niner by Nature? The winner of the fantasy league, Niner by Nature, the 96-team league where there's 8 copies of every player, the winner gets an autographed Joe Montana and Jerry Rice helmet, Hall of Fame Niner helmet, that goes to the winner. Not to mention you'll get one of these unbelievable Super Bowl fantasy rings that are between $199 and $350 depending on the ring that you pick. You'll have a couple options if you win. These come in an amazing box. Do not open this in front of your significant other. They will think you're proposing on the spot. They'll say, yes, I'll marry. Oh, it's your fantasy ring. Be very careful. So anybody that drops a $20 super chat or more gets into that league. It's not an entry fee by any means. It's not a money league, but anybody that drops a super chat of that significant amount, $20 or more, I'm making a league for everybody where you got that 49er, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Hall of Fame autograph, beautiful helmet. I think I have it somewhere right here. Let me see if I can find that helmet. I've got a screenshot of it. It's the actual helmet. It's a beauty. It's a beauty. This sucker, you're gonna want to be involved in this league. Let me just say that. If you like autograph helmets, this one's for you. Where is it at? Here it is. Look at this bad boy. This goes to the winner of the 96 team Cooper Cup. 8 copies of every player in the player pool. Look at that beauty. Where do you go to learn watching this show, Niner by Nature? See, Niner by Nature is such a good follower. They don't even play fantasy football. And they're here to support. Unbelievable, Niner by Nature. Unbelievable person you are. You know what? There's somebody in your life that will help you draft too, but you certainly just watching my show, you're going to learn. But this is the helmet that we're giving away. It's a Joe Montana Hall of Fame 2020 or 2000 and 2010 autographs on there, right there. Hall of Fame, Jerry Rice, Joe Montana. Beautiful helmet. Coming by way of Grant. Axe wants in. Axe, DM me on Instagram real quick and let me know when you've done so. The Fantasy Football Show on IG. Send me a message right now, Axe, okay? And then I'll get you in the league. Yeah, that helmet is pretty nice, Niner by Nature. So appreciate Niner by Nature. Doesn't even play fantasy football, but is here to support the channel to this degree. Loves the Niners so much. Loves when I go on Trey Lance rant so much. Niner by Nature just literally is here for the Niner talk and hangs out and supports everybody here. So one of the coolest followers here. Appreciate you. Just the loyalty you have of not even being into fantasy, and you're here to support. It seems like a lot of work and risk for Tom to unretire immediately to do so. To what? Go to Miami? I think that's pretty low risk, man. That seems like a a winning situation. Niner by nature, don't join right away. Do research and learn. No. Niner by nature has to join because they want to get the helmet. I'll help you. I'll help you with just watching the show. You'll get used to it. Fantasy football sounds like Chinese to me. Well, get in a mock draft with us. Or just draft all Niners and maybe they carry you. You'll figure it out. Not to mention, you know people that can help you draft. I know you do. I know you do. Spread the word. Tell your family members about the show and then have them help you. 7 years in now. 3 Super Bowl wins to my name, says Jorge. Attaboy, Jorge. Appreciate you. Make sure you DM me right now, Axe. I need to make sure I contact you real quick. Win or lose, fantasy is fun, says Cliff. Hey, Axe, did you send me a message yet? Wait for your DM. Let me just check the news and make sure there's no Tom Brady breaking news right when I end the live stream. Although, we'll be back. If there's news, I'll be back. Like, let me ask you a question. When news breaks, and you're like, holy, whenever you say these words, holy moly, can you believe this trade? When anything shocking comes out of your mouth like that, when an NFL piece of news breaks, think of Smitty. My boy Smitty is probably live right now or about to go live. Okay? I want you to always remember that. Slap yourself so you remember it. Okay? When they night a night, this is the way they do it in the movies at least. And they night a night, they make them take their oaths and they slap them so they remember it. Slap yourself a little bit across the face, just a nice little one. Remember it. The next time breaking news happens, I am going to be live. I need you here. Report to the show. Report to the emergency live stream. If it's big, if it's breaking, your boy Smitty is live. Or I'm going live. I'm setting up to go live. Yes, Cliff, I do my best. The only thing I didn't do is when that Tyreek Hill trade went down, I was out of pocket for 2 hours, and it happened to drop the minute I left the house. And I wasn't gonna, back out on the family, so I fully committed. I was 2 hours late breaking that news. Not breaking it, but breaking it down. But usually I walk right into the studio, and it takes me like 2 to 3 minutes to set up graphics and go live. So just know that. And so where is... Let me see if Shefty and Rappaport have anything for us today. Nothing. There's nothing on this Tom Brady news yet. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. What's up, Ryan? Watching on my TV, wanted to drop a like and say what's up. Ryan, how big is this look on your TV? What do you have? Like, is it a 55? Is it a 70? What's that look like on your TV right now, Ryan? Is that pretty big? Hey, Ma, get the meatloaf. Ryan's busy. The meatloaf, Ma. Ryan's message was 55 inches across. Did Umberger message you back? Let's see. That's a good point. Didn't even check. We like to... Oh, wow. Yeah. Umberger definitely got blocked. Poor guy. Umberger, I love you. You drunk again, my boy Smitty saying Brady to the Dolphins. Yeah, Doug, that's exactly what we're doing in here. We're just talking about how it's such a signed, sealed, and delivered situation, Doug. Doug, read the room. Appreciate you, Doug. Somehow I still appreciate you. All right, Axe, I'm looking for your message, pal. Niner by Nature, DM me as well on Instagram. All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate every single one of you. I'll be live on the Quad Box later tonight. I don't know if we're going to do the YouTube show or just go on Instagram. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. Appreciate every one of you. Hit that like button. Axe, I'll be looking for your DM until tonight when I go live, potentially. Who knows? I'll see you later. I'm still here, Drew. What can I do you for, Drew? What can I do you for, Drew? Drew, what can I do for you, pal? I'm literally stopped leaving for my boy Drew. Drew said, wait a second. Drew, what can I do for you? I'm all yours. The tension is headed in your direction, Drew. What is it that I could do for you today, Drew? Are you trying to drop a super chat? Next time, all good? Okay. Well, I'm here if you need me. Hold up. Drew said, wait a minute. He said, $100, not on my watch, Umberger. Here's a 99 spot. Now, the question is Drew going to drop a 5 spot or a $1 or a $2 super chat to take over the lead of the highest super chatter of the year? There he is. There he is. Drew dropping we'll call it a $105 super chat. Now the current leader of the entire year, Drew C. In the top corner you go on every live stream until somebody knocks you off the throne. Congratulations, Drew. You are now the man, the myth, the legend. Doesn't mean that Umberger didn't drop a serious wad today on the show, and I appreciate you, Umberger. I appreciate you, Niner by Nature. I appreciate you, Terry. I appreciate Cliff. I appreciate every single one of you. Travis, every one of you, even the haters, I appreciate you. Drew dropping it at the end of the show in magnificent fashion. Smitty was trying to get out of here, and Drew said, nope. 105. 105. My name's Drew. 105. Deal with it. How do you like that? I was trying to leave, then Terry had to drop a 20 spot. Terry, appreciate you, pal. Appreciate you. Terry's hard at work, doing God knows what, but he still drops a super. Terry, appreciate you. Is it Kenny's birthday? Kenny, happy birthday, buddy boy.
Happy birthday, Kenny! Happy birthday, Kenny boy!